I saw this trailer for this pitch online. I think it's called the Breakfast Guild. I love the animation, probably some of the best animation I've seen in a long time. So I wanted to go in and kind of highlight some of the great things about it. I'll link to the actual trailer in the description if you guys want to check it out.
So what's your plan anyways?
There are a lot of things I love about this walk. The surface, it doesn't seem like much is going on, but what really hits home for me is how the characters stop. They come to a stop here, but then after, there's a tiny movement. He puts his hand on the sword, and he puts his hands on his hips, right? That is a great way to give these characters some personality. And then notice as well how when the characters stop, not all the body parts are stopping at the same time. So the character comes down here, his body stops moving around frame 30, but his head continues to settle up, and same with his screen left arm. Right, so all those things breaking up the movement really keeps these characters loose, and it just makes it more believable, the animation overall. Zoom in on the head here. This is a really smooth head turn. Right, these are rigged characters in harmony. Character goes down, she closes the eyes with a blink, and then there's also this nice overshoot on the hair that really helps hide that movement. And I have to say, I really, really love these character designs. The eyes, they're so big, they're so expressive. So for this shot, I really want to take a look at her arms here. So this action, when she kind of has both her arms out, we kind of call this twinning, where both sides of the body are kind of doing the same thing. But the reason I think we get away with it here, take a look at the arms. If we scroll through, her screen right arm moves first, and then her screen left arm moves. So even though they settle at the same time, we're still breaking up that action and starting the movement at different times, which I think is really, really clever. And same thing here, she flips back and forth. Take a look at her screen left arm. It starts the movement first, right? It's delayed by quite a bit of frames, and then the rest of the body catches up after. And let's take a look at her eyes. Her eye direction changes before the head is actually flipping. So the eyes move, and then the head flips into place. And this is just a great pose all around. We got a really nice silhouette. We got some nice negative space here, here, and even in here. What I really like is how long she stays in this pose. She's kind of acting through this really strong pose. She comes up here, hits the accent, not a lot of change happening, and then when she goes down, she's still kind of in that basic pose, the hand's still on the hip. All that's really moving is her arm. If you have a good, strong pose, you might as well stay in that pose for as long as you can.
Piece of cake.
And that is a really, really nice arc.
Piece of cake.
If we slow it down, let's track this arc. That's a nice arc there, and then we move out and zoom out with the camera. Here, I love that. I love that. So these expressions, I think what really helps as well are these extra lines around the eyes. This one, like this pose right here, certain that this piece was added after to make it look like this hand is really pushing up against that cheek. I think it really helps sell. These characters are actually interacting with each other, and I find a lot of that. It's hard to do when you're working with rigs. Look, these are probably just one drawing swap that they cycle through. So they have two drawings on one drawing swap, and they just cycle through as they move the arm. That's pretty clever. Oh, sometimes on a project, they don't want you to adjust the pupils, but I love the change in pupil size. It's such a big snappy expression change. Really looks great. And even if we look at the character design, the shadow under the eyes, I mean, these rigs look so polished. And here, kind of just talking about this on our live stream, like a quarter back turn to a front quarter, that's hard to do. That's really hard to do. If we take a look, let's see how they did it. So this anticipation here, it's pretty big. It really helps lead into this action. And then 1, 2, these poses, the head probably didn't tween very well, but the body probably tweened okay. So 1, 2 poses, and then here, this is probably a flip, and we just tween up into this pose. So these are probably the quickest parts of the movement, and then there's a big settle at the end to kind of help sell that turn, to focus the attention on that second pose. Let's track this, right? This is probably a nice arc. Here, here, and then it settles back. Right, so that kind of arcing path looks really, really nice. And I'm guessing these fingers are like on an overlay. Maybe same with this thumb. And then the rest of the hand is behind this prop. I mean, that's how I would rig it. What I want to point out in this scene is take a look at this guy with the egg. This character is talking, so all our focus is on him, but this guy, he's not just standing there, like a cutout puppet. So as he's talking, he blinks. His facial expressions are changing.
I have only concern.
And then it builds up to his dialogue. You can kind of see there's like a conversation going on inside his head. His pupils move a little bit there. His expression changes a bit, and then here, his expression changes a lot, and then he speaks his concern. It really keeps the characters alive, like they're thinking, like they're having an actual conversation. Right, so something as small as just a little blink, a tiny expression change can go a long way. Yeah, so I encourage you guys to go check out the whole teaser trailer thing. It looks really awesome, and when you break down the shot, you can actually learn a lot. Can't wait to see where this goes. I'm sure it's going to get greenlit. This looks amazing. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've seen it or if there's any other cool shows that you think I should check out. Okay, see you next time. Bye.